Hello everybody, I'm Tom Daniels at Esports Insider, and we are here in Chengdu, China, where we are at the Crossfire Stars 2023 Esports Tournament. It is an unbelievable experience, and we've got a wide range of guests which we'll be speaking to throughout this entire mini-series, which is brought to you by our coverage partner at Smilegate, the tournament organizer of the Crossfire Stars 2023 event. In this interview, I'll be speaking to a play-by-play caster commonly known as Valdes. Now, you might have known him from the LCK and League of Legends, but he's also here at the Crossfire Stars 2023 event, play-by-play casting a wide range of games. We talk about the differences between casting League of Legends and other titles such as Crossfire in the FPS genre. And we also talk about the differences in fandoms and how he's seen the Crossfire scene develop over the years. It's a really great conversation, and I know that you'll enjoy it. So let's jump into it. Valdes, it's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you here in Crossfire, of all places, really. First thing I want to mention is you're widely known for being in the LCK, but you cast Crossfire as well. How did that come about?
Just, working in Korea has a lot of opportunities, I think, and Smilegate, situated in Korea, they were doing a bunch of Crossfire events, and they were starting to do them in Korea pretty regularly. And I got reached out to in 2019 or 2020, around that time, and just thought it was going to be a one-off thing, just start casting Crossfire. I'd heard about it before, of course, but I had never cast it before. And I was like, oh, this will be fun, just do this event. But yeah, it just started off as one, and then I did like a second one, and then eventually, started doing some of the grand finals and stuff. And yeah, it just kind of came about suddenly, but then also slowly over time, over the years. That was like, 4 or 5 years ago. So just got started. It was a lot of fun, kept reaching out, kept making that connection. And, with all the stuff that's happening in Korea, like all the tournaments that they're doing, the regional finals and stuff, just kept on doing it, and now I just consider myself a Crossfire caster as well.
What's really interesting is seeing you go from League of Legends to Crossfire in particular. Mm-hmm. How difficult is it to be play-by-play casting in two different titles? Is there some difficulties with it, especially when you first started doing it?
Absolutely. I think that off the bat, most people will be like, well, being an analyst in two games is very difficult. And I think it is technically more difficult. You need to know a lot about the game. Like League of Legends is a very technical game. It has a lot of depth into it, and also Crossfire as well, in terms of understanding the teams and the maps and how they play, like the meta, the strategies and all this stuff. So it's a little bit easier to start off as a play-by-play caster doing a different game. Some of the difficulties can be like style of casting, right? Because League of Legends, especially in the LCK, we have like a pretty specific brand, which is, generally very laid back. We're just enjoying the games with the viewers, and it's a lot of hardcore viewers, and we can kind of like have that fun podcasty style. But moving into FPS, it's obviously very fast paced. It's very hype, and you kind of have to learn how to do those different styles. And, I've been doing this for a very long time now, to the point where I have done other FPS titles and stuff over the course of the years, and I've learned how to do it slowly, and obviously over the years of doing Crossfire as well, just learning how to change the pace a little bit and change my casting. So that's definitely the hardest part, is to like understand what is the best way to cast a different title or a different type of game, because League of Legends and Crossfire couldn't be more different at this point. So yeah, it was a fun challenge, though. I really enjoyed trying to learn how to cast an FPS, and it's been fun.
I mean, you've been doing it for a few years now as well, as a result of that. I think one thing that I want to talk about is like fandoms in particular. So LCK, as you're well aware, is known for its very, hardcore fandom, whether it be Korean audience or even the English audience as well. What are the differences between then like an LCK audience and the general Crossfire audience from what you've seen by going to these events? Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say that, as you mentioned, the LCK audience, it's been going on for a while, like this one specific league, and the teams have been involved for a long time in the LCK. I would say that that's one of the similarities, like especially even when we come to Chengdu here, it's like Chengdu all gamers, right? Tons of fans for them. Everybody's very hardcore. The game's been around for a long time. The fans have been following this team for a long time, as they've been around for a while successfully. it's kind of hard to place the differences. I would say that for me, I generally interact more with the Korean fans in Korea because it's the LCK and stuff, but also abroad, like obviously the LCK teams have a lot of fans from abroad as well. And everybody's just really excited to see the players and the casters and stuff. Even like the people from America or, elsewhere that come to Korea, they always, come up to us and greet us and say, oh, I'm just so excited to watch T1 in person. This is my first time in Korea. For me, when I'm doing a lot of Crossfire events, it's generally like traveling to China, which is kind of like the hub of Crossfire. So it feels like very just ingrained in everybody. It's like, oh, of course, we're here for the Crossfire event again. This is like the tradition. I'm here following All Gamers again, So it definitely has a lot of these hardcore fans as well. But again, pretty difficult for me to place like specific differences. Yeah, just pretty similar, to be honest.
Yeah, you talk about actually in particular how the game has been going on for so long now. This game is now, Crossfire Stars in particular, is in its 10th year right now as a tournament. And with you saying you've casted some of them in some amazing venues as well, including this one right here. How have you seen kind of the game develop from an esports standpoint then, going through these championships year by year?
I think it's just the development has actually been, in the past, it used to be also just dominance by one region. Like China was always very strong. And then Brazil came in and they were like really strong for a couple of years. And I think that surprised a lot of people. And now like China's taken over once again. It's really developed as an esports. It's just become really fun to watch as well, like the developments over the years. And it feels like it always gets more and more hype. Like every single time it comes to a new venue, it's like bigger, it's better, especially with the kind of like falling off of COVID and stuff like that, able to once again like come back to these big arenas. So in terms of just watchability, I feel like it's become really, really fun to watch. And it's just really hype in these big venues once again, like everybody coming down to one Chinese city and like really gathering in just for this event. It's really awesome to be a part of.
And does it help the fact that it is now back in China after being in South Korea for a few years? China is very much like the central hub of Crossfire. And do you kind of get that sense when you come to an event like this and see some of these fans and some of the players getting like the cheers that they get, like the Chengdu All Gamers, like they're based in Chengdu for that reason, to get that hometown crowd?
Absolutely. I mean, it's... I'm sorry, can you ask that question again? Just
in terms of it being back in China, how does it feel to actually have the event now in China again after a few years in South Korea?
Yeah, there's a thing that, we were doing these events in South Korea and it was obviously during COVID times. So even like having an audience was a struggle at times, or sometimes it was totally off limits. So that was kind of sad. And coming back into China, which is the hub, is like, this is why we're here, right? This is why everybody's here. I would say that it's similar, like if we're making, again, like League of Legends or LCK, like comparisons, that Korea has been a hub of esports for a very long time, and the fans have been involved in that for an extremely long period of time. So it feels like similar to when you're getting like a League of Legends event in Korea, to now it's like a Crossfire event in China. It's like that same feeling of like, this is just ingrained. People have been watching this game forever and following this team forever. And it really is, it's totally different. Like the difference even as a caster to cast in a venue with fans compared to like a studio or just an arena with no fans it's like staggering. Like the energy levels are totally different. You can hear the cheers of people like going crazy over like All Gamers plays and stuff. And that totally changes the course of even the way that we cast as well. It allows us to be a lot more energetic and to have a lot more fun. So it's really meaningful that it's like the 10th year anniversary, coming back to China, obviously a huge esports city in Chengdu, and with All Gamers, the home crowd, it's incredible. It makes all the difference.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time with me, and good luck for the rest of the cast for the remainder of the week as well.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.